go know. You know, the right time to say no to poverty is now. Nigeria government, legalize Bitcoin for our country. Legalize Bitcoin for better than Inksnation foundation. So let us come together as one, with one ambitious goal. In love, peace, and unity. So we are one, united global family. We want a Nigerian society where the child of a nobody can become somebody without knowing anybody.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the last day's lecture on 5 days with DaddyInk. Every child is special. I believe you know you are special, no matter where you are from, no matter your background, no matter where you came out from. Everybody is specially special. So place yourself in a place of honor. Respect your fellow human beings and love one another. Today's lecture is centered around or is titled 2023 election, APC or PDP, we don't mind. All we want is a youth president, and why? Now, Nigeria is a great nation. We have spoken about what Nigeria is, the hidden mystery of the country God called Nigeria. And Nigeria, we said, is the summary of the world, is the remnant nation. So, being a special country, it also means that the the good and bad and uglies of the world are summarized in this country called Nigeria. But Nigeria also has a calling, and that calling is that the country must solve the problem of the world, starting from herself. Meaning that, as the summary of the world, if Nigeria can successfully solve the problem instead of shying away from the problem or running away from her problems by saying, we want to divide, there is nowhere we are going. We die here. There is no division for us. Nobody is dividing. Let us be man enough and face our problems and solve our problems. Now, to solve this problem, we are not going anywhere. If you like, cry from now to next year, divide. What's it called? Biafra has been shouting division, division, division. Oduduwa is coming up, division, division. Arewa is showing signs too. But the truth is, we are going nowhere. We are like trains. We are going nowhere. Even the south parts, we are hearing some agitations from that end also. Nigeria has 6 geopolitical zones, and these are like 6 children of one father. I repeat myself, we are going nowhere. We would face the problem headlong and fight it. And one of the ways of affecting the lives of Nigerians or uniting this nation is having a leader that understands the attributes of this nation, that understands the calling of this country, that understands what Nigeria represents. It's not just about filling the seat. I saw some things recently and I laughed. I never supported the Revolution Now movement. I never supported the End SARS movement. I never supported the toll gate movement because they were led by people that had no common sense. I'm sorry to say that. Common sense is common, but people find it hard to pick and use it. We are youths, we are in the digital age. The digital age should ignite your mental maturity. Since the digital is not something you can touch, it should help you also mentally elevate yourself to understand that the weapons of warfare these days, they are not physical, they are not carnal. You have to both use spiritual through prayers and use the mental, psychological stratagems. I repeat, I never ever supported the revolution now. The truth is that you must work with the end in mind. What do you want to achieve? When you work as a strategist or with stratagems, you'll be able to one, study your opponents, study how they think, study how they reason,
Need to
study
be
how they
done
work.
right
If
now
you
and
take
now.
step A,
Legalize
you should know their
cryptocurrency and
counter
accept
reaction.
Bitcoin for the
You don't
betterment of
go
our
and see
country.
a man holding a
Mr.
gun
President,
and be telling him, you
thank you.
cannot shoot me,
Mr.
you cannot
Mass
shoot me,
Production.
you cannot shoot me. You are a fool because that is his line of duty. You don't go and make yourself vulnerable. You see, Inksnation, we are leading close to 7 million or more than 7 million people. But when we are at war also similarly, but we are using our war even for the betterment of the nation. Whether we have come halfway or quarter way, we have achieved some level of success, some milestones. But when you look at all the conveners and all the movements that has to do with agitations of answers and so on, you find out that these are people that did not, that even the people that are leading them are not matured enough to even lead 10,000 people, talk less of lead a whole nation. People like that would just take the whole nation into self-annihilation. You cannot call yourself youth and not have wisdom enough. You can't combine 10, 20, 50 youths together and they cannot combine their common sense. The fact that protest is your civic right does not mean that you must do it. The fact that you know your fundamental human right does not mean that it's every of those things you must apply. Wisdom will tell you what to do at specific timing. You don't just shoot because you have a gun. You must aim properly. And in aiming properly, you would know the best way to go about things. So basically, we also need to understand that from the lecture on what Nigeria really is, you realize that Buhari is not your problem. Oh Nigeria, Buhari is not your problem. I have said it, I said that thing since 2018 based on revelations that were given that every next president of every country of the world will do worse. The reason is because of the system. The system we are born into. That is how it is programming itself. Everybody that follows the same system, if you like, be an angel, immediately you sit on that seat of power, not only Nigeria, that thing is activated. The system is programmed to make sure that every new president becomes worse than the president before him. So we have to understand that everybody everybody is actually a victim of this system. The fractional reserve banking system, the fiat currency system, and so many other and the other systems. But our pursuit now is this: 2023 election is nearby. 2023 election is nearby, and the best that the leaders in power can do for us is make sure that we are already late self, but we can still manage if we make sure we hand over this country to digitally inclined youths. Digitally inclined youths. Most of our leaders are analog based. Your primary school, secondary school, even the university they attended, everything was um, analog. But the digital age children, especially those that were both exposed to the analog and the digital, they will be able to differentiate both, use both constructively, and the main aim of making sure we have youths in 2023 or even earlier, if there's any way that they can decide and say, oh, Buhari can wake up and say, in short, I'm tired. Let somebody, a youth, come and take over before 2023. The good thing there is that we need people that can think in the digital line, because the digital age is Africa's biggest opportunity. The digital age, including blockchain, AI, and all those things, they are Africa's biggest opportunity. Therefore, we need leaders that are professors in that field, leaders that have experienced that field, leaders that know what it means to be in the digital age, so that the youths can be able to take this nation forward, can be able to use the digital age to compete with the rest of the world. We are making wave in as imagine the youths in Nigeria were not even active. You'll find out that Nigeria will be one of the worst nations on earth if we don't have stories of Paystack being bought by Stripe, or so many activities of Nigerian youths here and there that is being aired. You now imagine what the news will be full of every day. Boko Haram, their herdsmen, bandits, this person defected from APC to PDP. How does that concern us? So it is the hands of the youth in several industries that is even giving us meaningful news out there. But at the same time, we still have some youths that are giving us nonsense reputation, talking about tattoo for some weeks now or days now, talking about tattooing somebody on their body. And like I said it yesterday, I said when the abnormal becomes common, it automatically becomes normal. Somebody like Yul Edochie is also putting mouth into it. Somebody that wants to become president of Nigeria, and you're saying that if somebody tattoos you on your body, on their body, that it is out of love. What kind of stupid love? That's not love, please. The first thing you should love when you talk about love is loving God. Then if you value your own life or you respect yourself, why would you tattoo at all on your body? Is an irresponsible. No matter how rich you are, I don't care. That is where abnormality comes into it. We create standards based on people in the industry succeeding. There are so many rubbish that we do that is from those averagely rich people. If you look at the world's richest men, there are so many things they don't do that we are meant to be copying from, learning from. Shey is it Dangote that will have time to go and be sitting down to tattoo, or is it Steve Jobs or what's his name, um and so on and so forth. The truth is that we need to separate ourselves. In the midst of yeye youths, we also have those that are uniquely positioned so that in the long run, we'll be able to know the right set of people to select. There are some things that will come up in the future that will have prerequisites like, oh, do you have tattoo on your body? You are not fit for this position. Have you ever tinted your hair from black, the way God gave it to you, to red, to green? Have you? If yes, you are not fit for this. Because we need to be good examples to the youths. Now back to the leaders, APC or PDP. These two are the prominent parties in the country. The only way that these two parties can have a heads way, or naturally these two parties have contributed to the nature of the way the country is today, whether good or bad. The best thing, they are actually handing over debts to generations unborn. The best thing they can do for us is to give us the chance, even if we know we are going to take that burden of debt, let them give us the chance to be able to even try and correct it. Because we have been able to find a way through blockchain, through digitalization, through cryptocurrency to actually end the debt-based system. We have found ways to solve the problems of our country and any country. But when the chance is not given, when there are restrictions, when there are holdbacks, blockages of accounts, blockages of, oh, you have to do this before we let you go, it becomes a problem. We are actually carrying their burden. A lot of them are becoming aware of the problem they have created. It is good to be aware of that problem, but it is better if you take steps to say, okay, we are getting old. The truth about their own existence is that in the next 10 years, many of them that are still shouting, I will contest in 2023, I will do this in 2023, many of them will not reach that 2023. It's not a cause. They are all old. They are aged. They should be thinking of how to please God or Allah and stop pursuing or fighting for these political seats. They need to hand over to the youths. We don't care if it has to be APC. Recently, Buhari took a very wonderful step. I don't care if the person is an angel or a demon. But the fact that you can go down to pick a youth for the chairmanship of EFCC is a good, wonderful step. I was really, really proud of him. But we want them to extend that to the governorship, presidency, House of Senate, House of Rep. We need that. We need youths who are still agile, who are not will not be jumping from here to there. One sickness today, hypertension tomorrow, one thing tomorrow, diabetes here. You don't have time for the work that you are assigned for. At times, we look at the House of Senate, you see their seats scanty, but they will still receive their payments. We are not against them. We are only saying that we should be given the chance, the youth should be given the chance to correct some of these errors, to correct some of these problems in the society so that we can have a better nation. At least they have done a lot of havoc, but we don't mind. The best they can do is just say, okay, we have done it to a level, oh, the level we are doing it so we don't even know what next, because we notice that a lot of them they are confused. But the solution is in the digital age, but they are not digitally inclined. You cannot This kind of field is not something you hire somebody for. The key players have to be in that field, digitally inclined in the way that they can even checkmate whoever is being asked to do one or two things, digital assignments for the country. Now it's so funny that Nigeria, okay, look like our identity system. We have BVN, we have NIN. You want to do election again, you have PVC. Is irrelevant. All these things are irrelevant. You just need one identity system. If you want to vote, that's what you use. If it's NIN, if you want to register company, um, open bank account, you use that same thing. You stop clouding us with so many things. They bring another one now, you still go there, do another this thing. You just need a singular thing. Like in Inksnation, we have universal wallet address. You can use it for, if established in any country, can be used for anything. It serves as it's even adds number 4. It serves as a bank account number. It serves as an identity system. It can be used for voting. It can serve like BVN also. So that is what the digital age can help us understand. And Pantami is also trying his part, but we need more digitally inclined people who are deeply dedicated for the growth of this country, who are painstakingly dedicated that no, Nigeria must move forward. The our fathers our fathers are disqualified because of their age. They need to rest. There's a lot of pain in the nation already. There is a lot of even if they hand over today, they are handing over lots of problems, lots of um, pains, lots of poverty, lots of this. This is not just about who win party, who win. This is about taking Nigeria to the next level or helping the nation recover quickly. It is very important we hand over to youths that are digitally inclined, because that is a very big opportunity for us to solve the problem of this country. Some of the leaders themselves they are not exposed to some of these tech, even some apps. They need to ask their children or their aides to assist them in some things. We need digitally inclined leaders. The new chairman of EFCC is digitally inclined. You cannot use digital scopes for him. He'll be able to fetch things out, create a more robust system, which I believe he should be able to do. So, in order to move forward, we don't care if it is APC. Some people are saying NYPD and all those things. Let's not be rigid. Let us not get too carried away. Our fathers are still our fathers. If you push them to the wall, they will rig the election. If you push them, if you say youth will not vote or all youth vote for so thing, they will rig the election and you will have nothing to do about it. Even APC won't mind PDP to win sef other than another party to win. So if you push them to the wall, work with understanding, work with understanding your opponents. It's not always about, it's not even about what is right and what is wrong now. It is what is possible. You have to work based on what is possible. You know them. It's not as if we don't know these people. We know them. And we don't even want to know whether it's their fault or not. If you push them to the wall, they will rig it. One of the two parties will win. But the most important thing here is there any way we can advise them? Say, okay, PDP, APC, go and bring youth leaders. We don't care whether it is PDP or APC. Just give us youths for president. They should not be more than 40 years old. We need fresh bloods so that we can be able to compete properly with the rest of the world. We cannot be inside our house competing with ourselves when we have people outside our house that are already beating us without us knowing. Instead of us to collaborate and fight or compete properly with the outside world, with other nations, with developing and developed nations, we are now inward competing with ourselves. It will get to a time you find out that by the time you are done competing, you will find out that you have even lost the thing you are competing for because the outsider has taken it without anybody defending him or without anybody fighting him because you are busy fighting yourself inside the house. So let us work with wisdom. Let us inform them. If I were the youth, we will know there's no need to even do any extra political party. It's something that we can do. We have the capacity, we have the population. And if we check the options, it is 90 or 80 to 20%. 80% that we don't really need a new political party. Then 20% is maybe some other signs might come up that might need us to bring up political party. But I don't see the need for it. The best thing is for these old parties to be flooded with youths. When we flood into those parties, pick one out of the two, flood them, get your membership cards, and stay in that party. Then make sure that when the time for selection comes, there is a youth that needs to be put there. Let us even start experimenting with youths. If we could be very lucky, the first youth to handle this nation will really give us the best results. But the most important prerequisite is he must be digitally inclined, must have track records of some activities in the digital space. So if we talk about election, we know how they do it. They would they know who to they know their way out to make sure that they get the seat. At worst, they will rig it, and we will complain, and in the long run, we'll accept our fate. But the best thing for us is to enter into that same parties and tweak it to our favor. Then to the politicians, we are begging and pleading that this is our desire. We don't wish to compete with them, say, oh, we'll go and create our own party, NYPD, NDP, AAP, one thing. We don't even have time for that. The most important thing we are concerned about is how to make sure that youths start leading, from senators to state governors to the presidency, so that we can it's not a competition between the youths and the baby boomers or the older ones. No, it is for the betterment of the nation. We need that digital inclination to be able to push this nation forward. So with this, I know that I have been able to touch some important points, even though it revolves around just few points. The youths need to go into politics. The youths need to become a youth need to lead this nation. And that youth or those youths needs to be digitally inclined. They must be experts in blockchain, artificial intelligence, in programming, in something out there, so that we can be able to compete, use the advantages we have in the digital space, in blockchain, in artificial intelligence, and be able to use it fast. There are some opportunities that are laid bare currently that I just sit down at times and just shake my head like, wow, if the right hands, digital hands can handle a country like Nigeria, it will be so sweet. So we said that we don't mind, let all these our fathers become godfathers. We don't mind, because without even saying it, there is godfatherism. But we don't mind. We don't mind for our fathers or our leaders to be godfathers, to the point that there can be certain arrangements or agreements or concerns that will be noted for their own benefit or interest. The major thing is for us to let youths to handle this nation, so that we can be able to compete properly. If a youth is the CBN governor, there are some things that he will not say in his speech the last time, because the paper money we are talking about has no intrinsic value. Money is money because the government says it is money, and that is not how money is meant to be. So we need youths that understand the digital age properly, even if they need to sit down and be mocking us, say una sabi do am, or shebi una say una fit handle am. We don't mind. Let us take that first step to make sure that we are strategically positioned to compete with the rest of the world. For us, for them, they might not need the digitally inclined leaders because their world is already digitized to an extent. But we that are developing nations, we actually need these people, these digitally inclined leaders, to be the frontliners so that we can fire and move this nation fast and forward. There are some ways that this country can be handled within 1, 2 years. You will see how the country will move. So we are not blaming our leaders. Neither are we telling them we are better than them. No, we are only thinking of the good of the nation. When they themselves started politics, when they received independence from the whites, they were all youths. It's meant to be a continuous system, not anybody taking it personal that we have to remain here. So please and please and please, if you are in politics, if you are in power, listen to this carefully. It is for the good of the nation. It is for the good of the tomorrow of this nation. The problems of this country is becoming too complex for people above 50 years to handle. Let the youth exhaust their strength in solving the problem of this country while you people relax in pension and in retirement. And also, we don't want to create extra parties. Let them spring out from APC. Give youth the chance to spring out from PDP, from APC. If possible, let there be a specific age, a change of the age that, the president must not be more than 40 years, the governor must not be more than 35, the this one. That would be the best thing the leaders would have done for us, or that's the best thing our leaders can do for us before 2023, so that we can really help this country. It is very important that this is done. APC, PDP, I will be voting for one of those. Make sure you vote for one of those. But our requirement is we want youth from these two parties. The one that hearkens to our wish and brings up a youth who is not more than 40 years, just like Bauer. The one that follows that suggestion or that advice and brings a youth that is not more than 40 years will be the ones that we would focus on, will be the ones that we would vote for. So please and please give us that grace and that benefit of doubt to make sure that we position this country for a better tomorrow. We know the pains that are already in the country, the burden that the the leaders will be handing over to us. We are aware of them, and we would do our best to shoulder it. But please do us that favor by making sure that a youth, I know that they have already started doing their preparations and arrangements, membership, registration, membership cards. Let us start now to prepare that future. Many of these leaders is not a curse, is not wishful thinking. Many of them will not even see 2023 because they are of age, they are old. They should be thinking of how they want to prepare their life in heaven, in Aljana. So I pray that we would have that grace to step into a more productive Nigeria, a more successful Nigeria. We would have that grace to see Nigeria as one of the top nations of the world soonest. Thank you for today's lecture, and these are the words that I've come forth for this lecture today. If you have any questions, please kindly let us know. If you have any questions, kindly let us know. The tomorrow we are seeing for Nigeria, for Africa, even for the world is very scary. It is very, very scary. We need to use all that we can use in our arsenal to help ourselves. You might feel that you are rich, it does not concern you. You might feel that you are poor, you no send them. You might feel that you're a leader, you don't value the commoners, or the commoners might look at the leaders and say they are useless. It is a collective work. We have to fight for the betterment of this nation. If you realize the 5 days lecture is directly and indirectly centered around Nigeria. So for us to have 5 days lecture on Nigeria alone, it shows that Nigeria is very important, is a very big concern to us. So please, don't curse this country again called Nigeria. Don't get tired of Nigeria. Don't get irritated by Nigeria. In the midst of problems, in the midst of challenges, there are always opportunities. If you find your opportunity and use it while others are complaining, you'll be benefiting and succeeding from that opportunity you've seen in the problem. And the best way to become successful, the best way to achieve fame in life is to look for a problem and solve it. Any problem you see, don't go and escalate it. Don't go use rigidity or use fire for fire, fire brigade approach or anger. Rather, look for ways to solve the problems. And like we have said, you see this Nigeria, don't join those that are saying Nigeria must divide. Some of us don't have direction anywhere belle face, anywhere we are pushed to. When this person comes out and say, oh, Nigeria must divide, you say it's true. We are tired. We are this, we are that. Another person comes, say, no, you don't need to divide. Say, oh, it's true. We are not meant to divide. Unity, oneness. Another wind come again. Let us go our way, Jare. Let's divide. You say, yes, you follow them. Another wind come again. Say, God loves Nigeria. Peace must reign. You say, okay, you are just like a puppet. You are just letting yourself being swayed here and there. What do you want for your country? What do you want for this nation? You must have a firm decision. Even if it doesn't work that way, at least you are in charge of your own mind and your own life, not people swaying your mind or your life here and there. So many of us are puppets of the social media. Whatever we see in social media today is what we hold on to. Another thing comes on tomorrow again, we go again like wind. Another one come again, we follow it. You are just puppets, puppets of the social media. Wake up, Nigerians. You are smarter than you are presenting yourself to be. We need to stand up for this nation, if not for the benefit of the nation, but for the benefit of the world, because a lot is attached to the success of Nigeria. The success of Nigeria has a lot to do with the success of the world. The peace of Nigeria has a lot to do with the peace of the world. Without this peace in Nigeria, there cannot be peace in the world. Let us take that seriously and handle the things of this country well. Let us take this country serious. Times are coming, you will understand what I mean or what I meant today. There are so many of my words many months back that people are now seeing as prophecy, like, oh, that Ink said this then, that Ink said this then. We saw some international companies, their works are looking as if they are even following us behind. Like we have already brought up the ideas and they are just thinking of it now, things we have done before. So, but if we are fast thinkers, but the enabling environment to act is not there, the people that are late thinkers can still meet up and even pass us. So we need to help ourselves, work together, create enabling environment. For the cryptocurrency part, we've said it that there should not be too many strict regulations. It should be a regulation that gives everybody or every crypto company the chance to prove themselves and show the nation what it has to offer her as a people, as a government, and as a financial institution. So I pray that we will see better days to come, and God will keep me alive, keep you alive to see the glory days of Nigeria. Maybe the name will still be Nigeria there, or might have changed to something else because the country itself even needs a rebranding. Change the name instead of dividing. Why don't we change the name? Maybe that name itself is affecting it. So God will see us through. Thank you for your time. Questions, questions, questions. We need questions. We'll be closing soon. Put your question, make sure your question is around the topic on ground. Questions should revolve around the topic on ground. Somebody is asking, can Inksnation make Nigeria not divide? Yes, Inksnation is already doing that directly and indirectly. Inksnation is already doing her part. In fact, if not for the restrictions of so many things, we should have gone a long way for that. Please, Damirex, stop comparing. Inksnation has no competitor. We are not competing or comparing ourselves with anybody. Everybody has their own economy. Like we said on Wednesday, cryptocurrencies are like economies on their own. Stop comparing Inksnation with something else. Let every man run his own course. Any other questions? How can this message get across to the youths? This is part of how it will get across to the youth. The way we have gathered you all, and as you are here, we are talking about how we can move this country forward. There are some other groups that are having their own people. They are talking about Bobrisky do this one, um, Tonto DK do this one. They have no job but to carry other people's problem on their head. But with time, the more we have more people, more members, more numbers, we'll be able to harness or touch as many lives as possible. So we are doing our part little by little. Everything would go nationwide and global. And by the grace of God, soon also Inks TV. We're not going to give dates, but with time, Inks TV should be up and running and most likely be on satellite TV, and we'll be able to have our own audience. What effect will it have if Nigeria divided? The first thing is this is like six, or let me say three brothers fighting, and all of a sudden they are saying, since we keep fighting and fighting and fighting, instead of us to keep our pride, humble ourselves and say, let us solve this problem. We're now saying, for example, sorry to use P Square, instead of them to solve their problem and say, let everybody go their own way. It's total madness. We cannot run away from the problem, from our problems. We need to face it and solve the problem. Now, that is on a natural ground. Then, with the fact that Nigeria has some attributions, both spiritual attributes and um, psychological, physical, and so on, you realize that the country as a summary of the world, as a remnant nation, if it divides, the world can never know peace again. You might be hearing this for the first time or second time. If this country divides, Nigeria is the summary of the world. It is like a test run that, oh, if this nation that summarizes the world can work out her differences and solve her problems and come out of all these problems and live in peace and harmony, then and there it is assured that the world can live in peace. It is assured that we can have a better future. But if this country splits, my dear, it's like we are dividing into more problem, because we think that is where the problem is. We think the problem is the people in power. So by the time you now split it and create your own, you now see more problem again. You now be wondering, oh, should we still divide that division again? But that's not the solution. Division is not the solution. We face our problems headlong. We are not going anywhere. Hear me out. We are not going anywhere. Biafra, sorry. We know they go anywhere. Oduduwa, we are here. We die here. We must solve the problem together. We must fight it out. Anyhow, anyhow. We must resolve it. So thank you once again. I will give room for two more questions, then we close for the day. Question. Someone said I should give difference between cryptocurrency and blockchain. Please go and watch the video of the lecture of the Wednesday. You will get more answers to more of your inner questions. We need to educate one another. Yes, 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 we need to tell ourselves the truth about a lot of things. We have only one human race. We only have one race. Somebody is asking if you can register unborn children. Pick Pikin wey you never see, how you wan take register am? So any final questions? Thank you, William. I would like to know God will see us through in the election. Biafra is another man's dream, just like Inksnation is yours. Please don't say Biafra is going nowhere. Another man's dream that has to do with dividing the nation. The Inksnation did not come and say, "Oh, we are a nation. We want to divide Nigeria." It's not possible. Please, anybody that has done anything on Inks Mobile, leave that platform alone. We have told you that every other thing is invalid until it is mentioned in the Telegram group. If it has not been mentioned, is either it is not yet time for it or it is totally invalid or a scam. That's why you need to be in the Telegram group. So your duty now is to make sure you watch these 5 videos. We have come to the end of the 5 days lecture. Make sure you watch these 5 videos, share it with family and friends, share it with people. Just keep sharing it and sharing it. You never know where it will get to. So so let us hope for fixing another lecture is not yet certain. The turnout for these lectures is even poor. We have close to 7 million members and we cannot have even 10,000 viewers on Instagram. It's very poor. So, good night, everybody. We thank you for being with us all through this while. We thank you for your patience and understanding. We thank you for understanding the moves we are making. It's not been easy, but we are not relenting. So kindly keep pushing. We are at war with poverty, and poverty is recruiting agents that are physically disturbing us. Anything that mentions investment, Inksnation investment, whatever, is not from us. It's those are products of scammers trying to use our name for their own good or for their own evil desires. We will track all of them down soonest. Let's finish our own problem first. So, good night, everyone. Remember that Daddy Ink loves you to the moon. I will always be here. We are fighting this fight together. We must conquer poverty, whether it likes it or not. Whether it recruits government against us or it recruits the people against us, we don't care. We are in it together. If you have seen the future ahead of us without Inksnation, it is very horrible. It's a very horrible future, and I don't want to experience it. I don't want you to experience that horrible future, and I don't want my children and your children to experience that horrible future. So we have to work it out now, fight it out now, conquer it now, so that that future becomes a blessing to us instead of being a problem. Good night once again. Daddy Ink loves you. Let's hope that our desires for youth president would be met by these political parties and we'll be able to do our part to touch and change lives, change the country, change the system. Love you. Peace out.